What is going on? I'm the Otaku, and with 2023 right around the corner, I thought it'd be a good idea to put out my top 10 of my most anticipated series coming out. So, because there's a lot of good shit. It was kind of hard breaking the list down from 10. I had like 20, 25, 30 series on my list that I was like, some of them were easy to cut, but then some, it was hard to get it down to the last 10. So, I'll say the only thing is I'm not going to be including stuff from 2022. So, like, no Bleach, no Spy X Family, things that are, basically you already knew that it was going to be coming out next year in 2023. So, it's just, because they got some remakes that I'm looking forward to. They got some reimaginings that I got looking forward to, some new series, and then stuff that didn't come out, in 2022 and didn't come out in 2021, and, things that we're looking forward to like that. So, the only other thing is, I don't read, some of these I don't know what they're about. I just, I've read little tidbits on it. But, I haven't looked in depth because when I watch, I want to be surprised. If I read the synopsis, I'm like, oh, that looks cool, I'll watch it. So, we can get started with number 10, which is Vinland Saga Season 2, which comes out, I think, January 9th. And from the trailer I saw, Thor Finn looks like he's grown into an adult. Said something about him being sold into slavery. And then it looked like the king said something about the king of England now taking over something. But regardless, the trailer looked dope, so I can't wait for season 2. Number 9 is Dr. Stone season 3, and from what I read and what I saw, Seku uses the water to unpetrify a guy that knows how to sail a boat, and they build a boat. And basically, I guess from what a friend was telling me, is that they go to try to find where the ping came from to turn everybody to stone. And so I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can't wait for that one. That sounds dope as shit. And so number 8 is Records of Ragnarok Season 2. And I'm excited for that because it's supposed to be 2 parts, part coming out in January, part coming out in March. Hopefully that's like 6 fights, and then they should, for the most part, be caught up with the manga, I think. I think there may be like 1 or 2 fights behind that after the second part would come out. So I can't wait for that. Number 7 is another tournament-style fighting anime that I'm actually... the only reason I'm more excited is because it's been so long since it came out. I don't remember when, but Kenshin Ashura Season 2. And although it's my least favorite style of animation, I do like the fights, and I can't wait to watch Season 2. Number 6 is Jobless Reincarnation Season 2. And although I don't know what it's about, I can't wait to see it. It's one of the only isekais that I actually like. There's not many, if you don't know me in real life, then you don't know. Like, I'm not a particular fan of isekais for the only thing that there's way too many, and they're basically all the same. You know what I mean? They're not... Dude goes to another world, and he gets this power, and blah, so to me they're just all the same, and I don't understand how they're so popular. But there's only about 5 that I, like. But, we'll see what Season 2 is. Can't wait for that. Number 5 is Solo Leveling. And although I haven't read the light novel, I don't know really anything about it. I watched the trailer, and it just gave me a bunch of still shots from what it's supposed to be. It looks cool. I read the synopsis. Basically, hunters that have special magical powers. They go into dungeons, kill monsters. Main character gets a special power that lets him level up. It said level up his strength, but just basically level up, and then he goes to learn the secrets of the dungeons. And that. And after saying that, it kind of, to be honest, sounds like a different version of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? But I don't think it will be like that. But so, can't wait for Solo Leveling. Doesn't have a release date yet, but I think, it said 2023. So, number 4 is Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, and I cannot wait for Season 2. I watched the movie. After watching the movie, I can't wait. It's one of the only... I wouldn't even say modern, but, I would say modern in a sense it's new. It's the only modern one out of, like, if you want to say the big 3 that I fuck with. I don't particularly like Demon Slayer. I'm not super into My Hero. And Jujutsu Kaisen's the only one in the modern, stuff that I actually like, so I can't wait for Season 2. Number 3 is something called MF Ghost. MF Ghost is a spin-off / continuation of Initial D. And if you don't know what Initial D is, I would look it up. If you're into... man, I don't know. Would you even call it a sport? I guess you could. You could put it in sports, cars, whatever. But if you don't know what Initial D is, you're either way too young or... I don't know, you're just way too young because it came out in the early late 90s, and most people I know that are young don't watch older anime. But MF Ghost follows a young kid that got taught by the original MC of Initial D, and he is looking for his dad, basically. So I cannot wait to see more races, because I love Initial D, so I'm ready for that. Number 2 is one of my favorite series, and I'm so glad that they announced that they're doing a continuation or a new part of it, which is Trigun Stampede. I don't know what it's supposed to be about. I'm not too keen on the animation just because he doesn't look like Vash. He looks like Vash Stampede, but he doesn't look like Vash Stampede. So, I think that's also supposed to come out January 9th with Vinland Saga too, so I think, don't quote me on that, I think I just saw January. But I cannot wait for that, so we'll see I'll see how it feels once it comes out. And my number 1, if you don't know me, then this is my favorite series of all time, hands down. I don't think there's something better than this. My number 1 for this is Rurouni Kenshin's remake. They're remaking all of Rurouni Kenshin, and I'm super excited. Because not only, I think, are they doing the original series, they're also doing the Hokkaido arc, which is, still being made right now in the manga. So hopefully by the time they get to the end of the original series, they'll be, super far in the Hokkaido arc and don't have to go on hiatus or anything. But, this came out in the came out in like the late 90s, early 2000s, I think. And I'm so glad it's getting a remake because, after Makoto Shishio, it kind of just went through a bunch of filler and then had a little bit of, story. So, and then when they made the movie in 2016, I think it was when that came out, it was, the new Tokyo, or the new Kyoto arc, which, showed Kenshin fighting Makoto Shishio on a ship, and the animation looked great. So I watched the trailers for these. It looks amazing, and I cannot wait for this series to come out. I don't know when it comes out, but I'll drop everything else to watch this. So leave a comment of your top 10, top 1. This is going to be a great year for anime, and I am super excited to watch all these. Otaku out.